I'm going to show how to cover up your outlet switches. I got a bunch of scraps left over from what I was doing, so try and find something that either matches your pattern. You can, spend the time to try and match it up exactly so that it blends in really well, or you can just do something like what I'm going to do. Since there are squares and tiles, I don't think that it needs to match exactly, so I'm just going to find something that is kind of close to the size of what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to trim it up a little bit. So you want it to be like a little bit bigger so that you can fold it behind. And it doesn't really have to be exact because you're going to just fold it behind the switch anyway. So I'm going to peel the paper off. And put it on top of your switch. You're going to smooth it out just like everything else. And it's a little bit off. So you should probably do it this way. That way you can really see where you're laying it out at. And I probably did cut it a little too short in the end, but it's fine. You just put it towards the bottom and nobody will see it. And then you want to cut little notches in the corners so that you can fold it over and make it a little bit smoother. And then you just kind of fold it over and shape it to the outlet size. In the corner, you just want to fold that over. And if it doesn't, fold exactly right, you can keep folding it, or you can trim it up a little bit to make it fit better. Like that one kind of sticks out a little bit, so I'm going to cut that off. And really, once you screw it into the wall, it's not going to be that big of a deal. Okay, so that's done. And then you take your box cutter or your X-Acto knife or whatever, and you're going to cut out the inside. Since this one is a rectangular outlet, it's kind of easy to just cut it out, and then you just pop it through like that, and then it's all covered up. And then you want to grab your little screws, and then you can just pop it through. So this is just paper. It's not like real wallpaper. You can just, push it through like that. It's very easy to punch through. And then the other side, and then you have your screws in there. If it's wallpaper, you might want to score it a little bit to make it easier to get in there. Maybe punch a Phillips head screwdriver in there a little bit so you can thin out the paper so that you can push the screw through. And you just screw it into the wall. Here's one with a double outlet on it. So basically you do pretty much the same thing. I'll try and do a better job this time and make it a little bigger than I did last time. So just cut it out roughly. so that it overlaps a little bit in the back whenever you fold it over. And then take the paper off. And put this down on top, kind of center it a little bit, and then smooth it out. And then cut notches in the corners. And just fold it over. And I'll cut that off. And sometimes the corners are a little tricky. You just gotta mess with them until they lay down kind of smooth. And if not, you can just always screw it in over that. Okay, so this one, you just have to cut around the edges. And it's a little trickier because it's a little round on the edges. It's not a straight edge like the other outlet. Basically the same thing, and then you just punch it out. And you maybe need to clean it up a little bit, or once you put it in the outlet, you might find that it smooths out on its own. And there you go. It is all done. And then your screw, you do the same thing with the other one. You just kind of push it through. There, just like that. And you want to be careful with this one when you screw it in. You don't want to over tighten it because this is very thin area and very narrow, and it gets messed up very easily, which I found out the hard way, of course. So anyway, I will screw this back in and show you what it looks like finished. Here are the outlets, and I'm gonna screw the plates back on. So you just fit them back on and put the screws in. Okay, you just want to be careful whenever it gets towards the end that you don't over screw it, so that you don't rip your paper and have to redo what you did. Like my screw head's facing all the same way. So anyway, you can do whatever you like with your screw heads. Some people it bothers, some people it doesn't. It's up to you. So maybe that will line up a little better. And there is, that one's in. So that's the covers matching the wallpaper, and you can barely notice it now.